to do all that you want to do. This is because I hear this so often, and probably in this last week I've heard it maybe 10 times, maybe more, from my clients or from the people that have been chatting with me on Messenger. All that thing is, oh, I wish I had time. I don't have enough time. I don't know how to fit this into my already busy schedule. I have this business that's working well, but I just don't have any time for anything new. And meanwhile, the business is working well, but you're exhausted. So it's probably not working well. So all those pieces of overdoing, overworking, feeling like there's not enough time, and suddenly where you finally feel like, okay, how do I get to the next level? You can't. How do I upgrade my program? Or how do I even think about creating something that is more matching my current internal space, something that's like you have evolved, right? So probably your programs need to evolve as well. But to create that, to innovate, to give yourself space to actually be with it requires, well, space, right? Requires that time in order to apply yourself. So today we're talking about the real reason why you feel like you never have enough time. So let me know where you guys are watching from. Would love to see that. And if you are watching this on replay, hashtag replay. All right, so we're looking at why you never have enough time to do all the things you want to do, because this is such a common issue. So let's look at the problem, what that looks like, right? We all agree that having not enough time is a problem, right? It makes us feel very stressed, makes us feel very trapped too. And none of that is a really fun experience in our life. So when you try to do everything that you think you should, you're going to run out of time. So when should is the driver, nothing good comes out of it, because should is an obligation. And it's not to say that the activity itself, like the task, something you need to do for your business, like let's say you need to market your business, or you need to write a post, or you have to call back your client and follow up, whatever it is that you need to do in your business. If those things are seen through the lens of obligation, then you're going to feel trapped doing them. Okay? So I want you to understand the difference between the actual task and the meaning you give that task, because that filter through which you're looking at the task is what's going to determine if that task is going to help you free space and feel more free within your own life, or is going to trap you more. Same task. Okay? It's not about the actions so much, although actions is obvious, it's obvious when you do things that you know you kind of don't need to do, but you're just keeping busy. But it's not so much about the action. A lot of it is about the internal perception of the action. Okay? So when you're looking at the action with the mindset and energy of obligation, that translates into I have to do it or else there will be some bad consequence that you imagine. Either the client is not going to sign up, or the client will be mad at you, or they will disappear, or you won't sell your program, or whatever it is that your setup is there, or maybe your coach will be mad at you. I mean, I've heard that too. So whatever your idea is, those are all things that trap us in feeling like we don't have enough time, when actually time is infinite. You have as much time as you need for what you came here to do, for what you came here to create. So if you for some reason feel like there's not enough time, there are specific sabotaging tactics you're doing that are making you feel that way. And as I said, one of them is looking through the filter of obligation. So then it translates that you're doing everything that you think you should do. Another thing is kind of more down to earth idea of doing everything you should do. That's based on fear of missing out. Like, oh, they are doing this, so I should be doing it. They are saying that this works, so I should try it. They are saying that this is the place to be, that's where I should be. And none of those are based on your natural desire, your natural way, or your inclination or alignment. They're based on somebody else's idea, somebody else's result, somebody else's expectation. That is also how we sabotage spaciousness and instead end up with feeling like we don't have any time. Okay. Another one is a very common one, focusing on what you do not have. So as soon as we start focusing on how do I get something, like I don't have enough this. How do I get that? And that could be with information, that could be with people, clients, that could be with money, that could be with anything related to your business or your life in general. As soon as you focus on what you don't have, and it doesn't even have to be how do I, it could just be I feel bad that I don't have, or I'm scared that I don't. Why don't I have? Why is it that they do and I don't? And so on. Anytime we go into that, so comparison is a part of this as well. This is also how we sabotage spaciousness and instead end up with not having any time to do anything important that actually matters. All right. Another thing is not being clear what you are committed to. And that unfortunately means you're kind of uncommitted to anything. So when you are unclear as to what you are committed to, you end up being uncommitted to anything. You're just not committed. And the problem with that is that when there's lack of commitment, what is it that you're going to use to make something happen? Your will, right? Or nothing's gonna happen. So this is how a lot of times we burn out. This is what I see so much with successful women entrepreneurs, especially with coaches and healers and somebody who's more in a conscious way of doing business. You know, they try so hard to help everybody and to do all the things and everything, and they make their business successful, but at the cost that they burn out because they are not committing to the bigger picture. They're committing to either rescuing or committing to just making it happen. There is a drive there that is off. So commitment is a clue there that if you're not truly committed to the correct thing, then you will actually limit how much time you perceive you have. And that feels you like, makes you feel like you're stuck, you know, like you're in the obligation energy, you're in experience of pressure, you know, like in a pressure cooker where you're doing all the things and it's not working. And then there's not time, not space to do what you love to do, because what you love to do is placed outside of what you're committed to. Instead of the things you love to do being part of your business, they become something else out there that you're going to get to once you finish the business. And that never works. This is kind of like saying, well, once I get myself to whatever level, then I can hire a coach. That doesn't work, because how are you going to get there if you don't have a coach? Or once I get to this financial level, then I will allow myself to have a vacation. Well, if you don't allow yourself to have space within your business, you might not survive till the time when you get to that financial level to have a vacation. So it's understanding our own commitments that is part of the clue here as to how you work with time. So for the ones of you who don't know me, I am Eugenia Oganova. I am Wealth Energetics Business and Marketing Coach. So what that means is that I help you step out of all this pressure and obligation of doing things you think you should be doing, and instead design your business and your internal alignment based on your natural way, on your soul design, based on your natural rhythm, on how you meant to do things, so that that spaciousness and time is integrated into the business that you have. Instead of feeling like I just work like crazy and then I have a vacation, you end up actually working and having space parallel to one another as you're living your life. Then it doesn't feel like you need a vacation from your business. It feels like you're actually happy and spacious within it. And then if you choose to have a vacation on top of it because you just want to separate from it for a week, that's fine. But it doesn't feel like unless I do it, I'll just die. Because you integrated the space into what you're doing. So that's what I help my clients to do, to create that soul aligned way that matches their natural design so that they can have the space that they need inside their business and only do what actually works for them instead of trying to do all those things that keep them busy and frazzled and exhausted. All right. So today we're looking at the real reason as to why you don't have the time to do all the things you love in your life. And that's not what you think. It's not because, oh, I'm so busy. Oh, I'm, working so hard in my business. All those things, you can be busy and you can be still working in your business, but have the space and time for things that matter to you and that give you pleasure and good experience about how you are living your life. So you feel congruent, you feel alive, you feel joyful. So let's look at what is the actual solution. So the way to create that space in your life and your business so that you have the time to do things that you love to do is to commit to your values. That is something that you need to focus on, your values, instead of all the things that you think you need to do. So this is called soul prioritizing. This is how I teach it to my clients. So soul prioritizing means that you prioritize things that you stand for, the values. So I'll give you the example here to make it a little clearer. For example, if you value efficiency, and that is where you choose to put your focus. Not on getting 20 things done, not on I have to make sure this is finished by the end of the week, or I have to sign this many clients, or I need to make sure I have this many sales conversations, or whatever it is that's on your to-do list. But instead, I value efficiency, so I'm going to focus on being efficient throughout my week. That means you will not be wasting time, because as soon as you notice like, oh, I'm scrolling through the Instagram, oh, stop, because hey, I'm not focusing on my value here. My value is being efficient. So nope, gonna turn that off and go back to what needs to be done. But now you're not doing it out of the energy of obligation. You're doing it because of the internal decision that you're going to stand for the value of efficiency. That creates naturally incredible amount of space. Like this is one of the values that I have, and I'm incredibly efficient. I do things in a day or in a week and in a month that people do like in a year. And it looks kind of magical that I can do that, but it's not magic. It's just I don't waste any time. I don't waste time on any kind of a detours that take me away from where the main mission is, from what I'm actually doing to serve you guys. So that way, the steps that I'm taking, they are naturally fall into something that feeds my soul, feeds me, and supports you. So it becomes very efficient, and a lot can get done, even though it looks like in a linear time, there's not enough time for it. But there's always enough time, because linear time is an illusion. The time is more of a perception. You know how like when you're enjoying something, time flies, and when you're not, it feels like it just goes on forever? That's because time is a perception. If we didn't have clocks, if we didn't have watches, if we didn't have like measuring devices, it wouldn't be so literal. I mean, you would know when the sun's setting and sun's rising, so of course you're gonna know that. But if somehow you're in a room that doesn't have the means to see like the daylight, let's say, or when a day or a night is, and you're completely isolated from the internal, like, you would not have any idea. You would be completely left to your own internal perception. That's because we make up time. Part of it is the planetary cycles, and part of it is our own belief systems that are in a way or as a support for how we perceive time. So to have all the time in a world that you need to make sure you focus on the correct values in order to get you there. All right. Another example I can give you, if you value personal development and your own evolution, for example, that means that when you're having an emotional moment, you will not override that emotion, but you also will not dive into it to the point that you drown in it, because that would be a detour. Instead, you would say, all right, this emotion I'm having means something, and then you would go into some sort of an inner processing. Maybe you would cry about it, maybe you would journal about it, maybe you would look at what is the deeper meaning here. Maybe you will allow yourself to love yourself deeper in that moment. You will utilize that emotion as the means to support your personal development, because that's the value you stand for. So that way you become very effective and efficient in processing emotion, because you're focusing on a value, not on how do I feel more comfortable, how do I get rid of this emotional pain, or whatever else. Those are the negative things that are lack. They are in scarcity. Focusing on your values, that's abundance. And if we want to create more abundance, we must be in abundance. You cannot create abundance out of scarcity. Not possible. It's a universal law. So let's give you another example. If you value well-being and health, then you probably will be eating healthy, you'd probably be exercising or going for walks or doing something that naturally is bettering your body. And if you feel like you want something that's not good for your body, you wouldn't feel like you have to stop yourself with everything you got and use your willpower. Instead, it just would be like, oh, but that's not what I value. I don't value having a bag of chips, let's say. I value being healthy. So that means chips are just not relevant to my life. And that allows you to then live your life with more space. Okay? And the same thing goes for obviously more linear things, like in your business, whatever you're building, whatever you're creating, whatever level of delivery of your service that you want to be at, that premium level, that means if you value that, that's where your attention is, instead of all the worry about something you don't have. So this is the main clue, that essentially like a magic key that allows you to unlock this mystery of time and have more time. This is what I teach my clients. This is part of my conscious future method, which is essentially how you create conscious future. Most people create their future unconsciously. In other words, it's like autopilot. Whatever you've been programmed with, that's what your future is going to be like. More of the past just gets propelled ahead into the future because you just create out of what you already have as your programming. And what I do is I help people clean up that programming. So if you are a successful coach and you have a business, you have clients, you're generally like, you know what you're doing and you know you're an expert and you have this thing in your heart of hearts that like you have this mission to help humankind and to elevate people in their empowerment and self-love and all those important pieces, but you feel like you're working hard and you're not having space for yourself, for your self-care, for travel, for just like your life is not integrated with your business and it's hard and it feels like you're trying to do all the things, then I invite you to work with me so that I can help you actually clean all those limitations away, clean the programming away, and then help you consciously master you. So this is one thing that I stand for, is that whoever you work with as your coach shouldn't be somebody who's giving you this, strategy and says, okay, do that, implement that. It worked for me, so it will work for you. That's a lower level coach. Somebody who's at the higher level and the type of a person that you need to help you get to that level yourself is the person who's going to help you be more you. Not make you into someone else, but actually help you be more yourself. In other words, figure out what is your natural rhythm, what is your values that you stand for, what do you need to be committed to versus somebody else, let's say. How does that fit into your business? You might be doing 20 things and you only need to be doing 2, but to know which those 2 are that you need to put your effort in, that's something that's part of my superpower, is what I do with my clients. So it's marrying your business and marketing strategy to your energetics, to expand that wealth container in your life so that you are able to actually hold all these amazing things that you want to bring into this world and then resonate them out, gift them to your clients. And do so with having space in your life, with having this internal alignment that makes you feel like you have the time for yourself. You have the space to be yourself, that you don't have to sacrifice your self-care. I truly believe that you really don't need to sacrifice in order to have a business. That is not an aligned way of running a business. It's a very patriarchal, negative, masculine way. In a more harmonious way, feminine with some masculine energy, it's a happy marriage between the strategies that are aligned with you, not a cookie cutter strategies, but your own, and with something that is really unique and natural to you. That's the energetics and the perception or the mindset of how you're going to see reality. And putting those two together then creates an environment within yourself, and then, of course, in your business as well, that gives you that freedom to feel like, you get to do what you want to do in your life. My policy is sort of like figure out what you actually want to do, and then let's integrate that into you doing your business. So then it's not like I have to do my business and then I finally get to do whatever I, want to do. Instead, no, let's put them together so that it's not a separate thing. It's all one thing. You get to do what you want to do as you run your business because you want to have your business. You want to enhance your life and the lives of your clients, and you want to do so at the higher level aligned to your soul design. So if this is something that I'm saying here all resonating and you're like, oh my God, yes, this is what I need because I've been working so hard and running in circles, and even though I'm successful, I know I cannot get to the next level doing this because I can't work any harder, then I definitely invite you to work with me. So put the word future in the comments, and then I will contact you through Messenger and we can talk about your specific business situation. I'm very selective about who I work with, so I will talk to you and find out what is it that your business looks like, what are you dealing with, and how I can help you specifically. And if we're compatible, great, maybe you qualify for one of my programs. I would love to help you do that. I think that this is an essential component of where we're stepping into, especially as women in business, is to shed all these old-fashioned ways of doing business that are based on masculine patriarchal model, and instead fully step into natural way that works for a harmonious being. Doesn't necessarily has to be a woman, although I work with women, but it's combination of the feminine and masculine, but in a healthy way. It's not just sit, meditate, and like hope for the best. That's not what I teach. What I teach is actually specific business strategy, marketing strategy, visibility strategy, messaging, positioning, all the things you're gonna need in your business to be upgraded. Obviously, if you're already successful, you have those things. And you probably can get there on your own, because I fully believe that if somebody is magnificent in what they do, they're gonna get there. Like their destiny is gonna be their destiny. But you can do so through a lot of hardship and detours, or you can do so with me in a sort of a shortcut way to get you there in a more compressed periods of time, when we do this quantum leap ahead, when we collapse the timeline and you move from the place you're at to the next level of yourself harmoniously by changing you and your business just a little bit. There's a teeny little shifts within your business to modify what you have to match what it actually needs to be for you. And then you have more space and time, and the things that you love to do are not some separate things, but they're actually part of your business. You know, you can, let's say, like right now, traveling may be a difficult thing, but once we can travel again, let's say if you want to travel anywhere in the world, you can, if you adjust your business in a way to accommodate that. And then you can work from anywhere in the world. Or if you want to have a location and internet, kind of a more open location, like universal worldly location, you can combine that as well. There's so many possibilities, and all those possibilities are meant to help you feel like your business fits you like this perfectly designed for you outfit. This is part of what I do, is essentially tailor your life and your business to you. So instead of doing something that may be like gorgeous outfit, but it's not yours and it doesn't fit right, even though it's designer outfit, you want an outfit that is made for you, tailored for you, and that fits you absolutely perfectly, so that you can almost forget you're having it. It just feels so natural. And the business can feel like that and be successful and generate income and have amazing clients that you love working with and feed your soul as you are sharing your gift with your clients. So I invite you to work with me. Put the word future in the comments so that I can message you and connect with you, and we can see how that works for your specific situation. And I know that you are totally capable of creating more space in your life so that your time perception changes to accommodate what you are meant to have, that spaciousness and flow from your soul design. All right, my love to you. Bye-bye.